Welcome to my tutorials on JavaScript. Today I will introduce the topic JavaScript. JavaScript was developed by Brendan H. in 1995, which appeared in Netscape, a popular browser of that time. The language was initially called LiveScript and was later renamed JavaScript. There are many programmers who think that JavaScript and Java are the same. In fact, JavaScript and Java are very much unrelated. Java is a very complex programming language, whereas JavaScript is only a scripting language. The syntax of JavaScript is mainly influenced by the programming language C. A script is a small piece of program that can add interactivity to the website. For example, a script could generate a pop-up alert box message or provide a drop-down menu. This script could be written using JavaScript or Visual Basic Script. Various small functions called event handlers can be written using any of the scripting language, and then you can trigger those functions using HTML attributes. The script tag is used to define a client-side script, such as JavaScript. Then, what is JavaScript? JavaScript is the programming language of HTML and the web. JavaScript is not a compiled language. JavaScript is a very powerful client-side scripting language. JavaScript is used mainly for enhancing the interactions of a user with the web page. In other words, you can make your web page more lively and interactive with the help of JavaScript. JavaScript is also being used widely in game development and mobile application development. How to run JavaScript? Being a scripting language, JavaScript cannot run on its own. In fact, the browser is responsible for running JavaScript code. When a user requests a HTML page with JavaScript in it, the script is sent to the browser and it is up to the browser to execute it. The main advantage of JavaScript is that all modern web browsers support JavaScript, so you do not have to worry about whether your site visitors using Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, or any other browsers. JavaScript will be supported. Also, JavaScript runs on any operating system, including Windows, Linux, or Macs. Thus, JavaScript overcomes the main disadvantages of Visual Basic Script, that's VB script, now deprecated, which is limited to just Internet Explorer and Windows. Tools you need. To start with, you need a text editor to write your code and a browser to display the web pages you develop. You can use a text editor of your choice, including Notepad++, Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Atom, or any other text editor you are comfortable with. You can use any web browser, including Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, etc. Why study JavaScript? JavaScript is one of the three languages all web developers must learn. We have one as HTML to define the content of web pages, CSS to specify the layout of web pages, JavaScript to program the behavior of web pages. A simple JavaScript program. You should place all your JavaScript code within script tags. That script tag, that is the opening tag and the closing script tag. If you are keeping your JavaScript code within the HTML document itself, this helps your browser distinguish your JavaScript code from the rest of the code. As there are other client-side scripting languages, example VB it is highly recommended that you specify the scripting language you use. You have to use the type attribute within the script tag and set its value to text/JavaScript like this, example below. We have the HTML, we have the head and the title, my first JavaScript code. Then we have the script type is text like JavaScript, and the alert and the code reads alert, hello world. You close the tag, you close the header tag, body tag, and close the body tag, close the header tag. I want to introduce to you semicolons. Semicolons in JavaScript is used and is important in programming. Semicolon, the official guideline says that JavaScript uses semicolon to terminate or end a statement. As it is in other programming languages, semicolons are used to terminate or end a statement. The ECMAScript specs describe how if a statement is not explicitly terminated with a semicolon, sometimes a semicolon will be automatically inserted by JavaScript engine called automatic semicolon insertion. So if you forgot to insert a semicolon which is not advisable, there is automatic semicolon insertion. JavaScript placement on your web page. Where and when do you place your JavaScript? If you are new to HTML, all you need to know about is for now is that you delineate elements in a web page using a pair of machine matching tags enclosed in brackets. The closing tag begins with a slash character. Elements can be nested within one another. JavaScript fits within script tags inside the head or body tags of a web page, as is in the following example. In this example, the element or the JavaScript tag are placed in the head and the body. Note, JavaScript code can be embedded in an external file, the header of the page, the body of the page. JavaScript placed within the body tags execute as it is encountered by the browser, which is helpful when you need to write to the document by using a JavaScript function. As follows, the functions called are shown in boldface type. In this code, the one with the boldface part, they are the JavaScript code in the body, and there is a code too in the header tag. Because of the way browsers load JavaScript, the current best practice for placing JavaScript in your HTML is to position the script tag at the end of the body element rather than in the head element. Doing so helps to ensure that the content of the page is rendered if the browser blocks input while the JavaScript files are being loaded. When you are using JavaScript on an extensible hypertext markup language (XHTML) page, the less than sign and the emphasis character are interpreted as XML, which can cause problems for JavaScript. To get around this, use the following script tag in an HTML page. That's in script type is text like JavaScript and less than exclamation mark braces C data. Then JavaScript goes here. Browsers that aren't XML compliant don't interpret the C data section correctly. You can work around that problem by placing the C data version section inside a JavaScript comment, a line or set of lines prefaced by 2 forward slashes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.